Robingurl asked me how Francis proposed to me. Well, pretty much I answered this before, but I'm going to actually give you a longer, detailed version on how he did. For for a while, it was shortly after. It was pretty much after the whole partnership with Kiku. Um, I was actually very heartbroken, and being hot, Francis was always there for me. Every step of the way, he was always there for me. And I never really noticed it then, because to me he was, I didn't care for him. I didn't care about him at all. He was nothing but a piece of ass, if you really are, if you want to know. Pretty much what happened. What happened was, after that I swore and vowed that I would never make the mistake again and try to fall in love. Well, every day he would ask me if I would marry him. To be honest, at first I thought it was just for stupid, us being married and unified. That means it will save his ass. That's exactly what it meant to me. And to be honest, I didn't want that. So I told him I didn't fucking care about his little, hey, let's save Francis and get married. No, he was fucked. I didn't care. Finally, he kept on. He asked me every day, once a day. And I would tell him the same answers. Well, one day I was actually fed up with it, and I finally just looked at him and go, I would never marry such a girly guy like you. Well, for a week, he didn't come by, and he didn't ask me. And then finally one day I heard a knock at my door, and I opened the door, and there he was, standing in the rain, holding a bouquet of flowers, with the ring, and he asked me again. But this time, he cut his hair. He actually cut his hair really short. He never cuts his hair. Never. Never in his life would he cut his hair. And he looked at me again and he asked me, will you marry me? I looked at him and I said no. And I hugged him. Because I told him straight out and I whispered it in his ear, I will not marry you until your hair reaches your shoulders again. The moment he grew his hair back out, and he didn't ask me anymore after that. He grew his hair back out, and he asked me again. But this time, it was nothing out of the ordinary. It was just a regular O. We would have a dinner. He was sitting across from me. He had his hair pulled back, and he looked at me and asked if will you marry me again. I said we. And we've been together ever since. You guys don't understand what that moment meant to be. Francis Bonfoy cut his hair for me. Okay, I got emotional on you guys. I'm sorry. Hormones. I have to blame it on the hormones. Keep the questions coming.